there was a spillage at some point. They woke up the next morning and the whole water was polluted. And the fishes, some fishes were dead. In fact, it took, it was like there were some chemicals on the water. So, if you as an expert in that sector is asked to advise a company or is faced with such a pollution, what would be your recommendation or the advice you give?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The advice I'm gonna give is predicated by law. Before the establishment or before your drilling commences, there must be what I called an oil spill contingency plan in place. An oil spill contingency plan in place. You must have that. That is by law. What does that do? In the event it may have a perfect design. Design do failed. Just like the pilot fails sometimes. That is the situation. You have a blowout offshore. You have a blowout while drilling. So if it does happen, what do? That is the purpose of the oil spill contingency plan. The oil spill contingency plan tells you what you need to do, depending on the environment. Like you are saying that it's offshore, you must have a schema. If you have an oil spill like such offshore oil spill, so you must ascertain the readiness of your oil spill contingency plan, which is by law, every operator must be equipped with an oil spill contingency plan. What are in that contingency plan? It tells you the process, the strategies for response, and what are the kind of response you need. And as an offshore, you need these offshore schemas. You need an offshore boom. You need an offshore supply vessel. Those are the kind of vessels that will be coming with all sorts of materials that you need for the major cleanup. Because it's a major cleanup. But you cannot do any cleanup offshore except you are skimming the oil. You can do the cleanup if the oil impacted the coastline. Because by the time it gets to the coastline, you will be impacting the coastline, the beach area, which is like a no-no area, very, very sensitive. You don't want to allow the oil to go into the offshore seabed, because when it impacts the offshore seabed, it's going to impact the aquatic life at the seabed. So you need to keep yourself with your oil spill contingency plan, and you need to stick with all the processes and procedure guidelines being presented in your oil spill contingency plan.